Have you ever felt like you weren't in control of the choices you're making? Me neither, but that is what Bandersnatch, Black Mirror's newest edition in their anthology series, is all about. Bandersnatch is a choose-your-own adventure on Netflix where you follow the story of Stephen Butler, a young programmer in 1984 who is attempting to adapt a choose-your-own adventure book, Bandersnatch, into a game.
An adventure game based on the book.
Now, approaching a review for something like Bandersnatch is kind of tricky because it falls into two categories, because in so many ways, it's a movie, but it's also interactive, which can make it fall in kind of a game, but also a movie, an interactive movie. And this is a genre that is not new to gaming. It's been around for a long time. And in fact, if anything, I think it's probably as relevant as it's ever been with things such as Telltale games, rest in peace, but also games such as Life is Strange, and then there's a whole bunch of interactive live action full motion video games such as Late Shift and The Bunker. So I do believe Bandersnatch, like all games, should be judged purely on its own merits, but for the sake of this review, I do feel the need to mention other things in the medium. So from the start, Bandersnatch does a good job of just giving the viewer some basic choices that really don't have any consequences early on, like choosing the type of cereal that Stefan wants to eat or the music he wants to listen to. But it isn't long until Bandersnatch presents the viewer with a choice that feels like it could drastically change the outcome of the game, and this is where Bandersnatch really does seem to fall short. When you're first approached with a big choice of whether to make Stefan do something or not, if you make the wrong choice, the whole experience kind of stops and then makes you redo it. In so many ways, these experiences kind of made me feel like I was playing something of a trial and error rather than actually making choices that affected a bigger outcome. And that isn't to say that the game doesn't take really interesting turns depending on those choices that do feel like they lead up to something, but because these ends happen so frequently, at times it just began to feel really repetitive, and rewatching scenes and kind of feeling like no matter what choice I made, there was really only one right choice to make. Now, that isn't to say that I don't find Bandersnatch incredibly impressive, because it is something that's developed for Netflix, which is extraordinary, and there's clearly a feat in trying to take something like a video streaming service and then turn it into a game. But I also think that's a flaw in it, that it's spectacle, and the thing that kind of makes it unique derives in the fact that it's just a Netflix thing. Now, if I were to experience Bandersnatch in the same way that I would experience a game like Late Shift on a console, I would find Bandersnatch extremely underwhelming, repetitive, and kind of boring. And Bandersnatch does have a lot of really cool, interesting themes that kind of break the fourth wall and really mess with you as the viewer, as feels like you're messing with Stephen Butler. But again, these aren't things that have not been done in games already. Specifically, Choose Your Own Adventure is similar to 999, where if you do something and you repeat it, the game reacts to the fact that you have already experienced this thing you've done. Something that Bandersnatch does, I think, really well, but still, I can't help but feel like it's not entirely new. But unfortunately, it's even hard for me to positively say that this is gonna lay the foundation for a lot of interesting things, because it had already been done with the Minecraft story mode by Telltale on Netflix. So it's not anything entirely new, but this is a good stepping stone in kind of seeing how something like this could be successful and also lead to maybe other possible forms of gaming that are gonna be streamed through Netflix. I think that's pretty inspiring and cool. But if you did see Bandersnatch and you really enjoyed it and you haven't played anything like this, I do suggest checking out games like Late Shift and The Bunker, and there's a bunch of other kind of full motion video choose your own adventure games that do what Bandersnatch does, but does it exceptionally a lot better given the platforms that they're on. Anyways, that is it. That is my perspective of Bandersnatch as a gamer who has played a lot of games like this. I am Curtin Davina, and please, if you'd like to consider making a choice, it would be deeply appreciated.